sadists. But we are not masochists.
That's true.
Also, I've just realised, hasn't the music been the same for each of the Wily Fortress stages?
Yeah, it's really disappointing.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, is it? Okay, obviously, Mega Man X games, they have different music for each of the Sigma Fortress stages.
Yes, they do.
Do they have different music? Yeah, no, they definitely have different music, at least in Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10.
Yes, they definitely
do. The music in this game has been a real letdown.
I think they already phoned it in for this one.
Especially considering Mega Man 9 was so great.
Yeah.
Also, on this week's edition of Why Nat Should Really Play Shovel Knight, they got the original two of the tracks done by the original composer of Mega Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Traveling in style!
Oh,
Damn it, Dronebot. This is definitely a boss.
Yeah, it looks to be a boss. I wonder if those things will follow you up.
The stage itself was a boss.
Oh no, maybe not. Maybe it's just part of the design. Maybe it's like Sigma. Come on.
I know, right? This is definitely the...
No, there aren't any like caterpillars coming out the walls to give you power-ups. I see what you're trying here, game.
This is... okay. I mean, I'm not feeling particularly challenged yet.
Up.
If I can get through this stage without taking a single hit, at least.
You've taken a hit.
I did it? Oh yeah, I did.
And then you took a hit again.
Thanks, Nat.
No problem. I'm just telling you to make sure that you know.
I wouldn't have noticed if it wasn't for you.
What, you getting hit by that?
Whoa!
Jump off!
By the way, are you getting this game's theme of gears? Yes, we are, game.
Like, you don't have to hit us over the head with it, right? We're not that gear-headed.
Here's a question. Why does Dr. Wily have his logo throughout the fortress?
Because he needs to know it's his, right? If I built a giant death fortress, I would have my logo plastered everywhere. I'd be like, you are working for Natural 20.
But
or even a picture of a dice with a funny one.
But it'd only be robots.
Yeah, but the robots need to know anyway. They need to know who is in charge, right?
They
might try this like independent thought ridiculousness.
No, we've already established that they can't do that.
I don't know. They might develop it themselves.
Free will is only for things which have a soul.
Have you seen iRobot? They do that themselves.
Is that the one where Will Smith has to kill a whole bunch of robots?
Yes.
I love that film, especially the part where he kills the robots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. I'm gonna bet you get some sort of Voltron with all the buses and all their powers.
So it's like Power Rangers.
Yes.
You say Voltron, I say Power Rangers. I mean, is that kind of what... Wait, does Voltron combine?
I think so. I've never actually watched much Transformers. I just know it as 2 Voltron.
Wait, is Transformers and Voltron the same thing?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just giant robots, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They're all the same to me, really.
Who really cares about robots? Oh my god!
Mega Man.
Apart from this guy.
Congratulations are in order. Congratulations to me, that is. My double did it all the work.
No!
He's not wrong.
Show yourself,
Well, I mean, yeah.
Wily! I won't let you get away with all
We've
this.
literally just proved the superiority of his technology. He's already won.
Just try and stop me if you think you can.
Again, by the way, look at all the gears in the background, guys.
Because I think they're hinting that gears are important. Okay.
And look, the bottom of his Wily bot has... Whoa!
Okay. Oh, you already figured it out.
Well, oh, come on, like, it was gonna be like, it's the big glowing red thing!
What do you think he's weak to?
Take the heat.
Oh, for...
Just tornado him. Just be like, I don't care.
Whoa.
You just stand under him and do it. Yeah.
I mean,
That-
that will take
It's not
a
effective.
long time. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, okay, I deserve that. Also, that's gonna take ages. Balls!
No, they don't appear to be the weakness. And they're also a pain to hit. Unless you angle them up, maybe.
Oh yeah, actually, you can. I mean, this seems to be doing fairly well.
I mean, like, it's doing 1 point every time, but it's quite easy to hit, so... And, you know, the thing appears to have, like, immunity basically everywhere.
Oh boy. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay,
Come on.
you might want to use a thing. Yes, there we go. Alright, so we're almost out of torch.
Nah, you know, I'm gonna other stuff before I start using a thing.
Pile driver in his face, pile driver in his face.
How am I gonna get up that high?
Just jump on the missiles
Oh my God.
up to him and then pile driver him.
But then I've got to.
Yeah, just use the speed gear when the missiles show up.
Okay. This is too confusing. Too.
Okay, fine. I decided the pile driver is not your weapon.
Yeah. Screw you.
You're out of ammo. Angle the balls up if you can.
Just. More balls. More balls. I really suck at
Okay.
these.
Use explosions. Explosions.
Okay. No, damn it. That.
Got him!
Whoa. Okay. I think Blast Man's weapon was his weakness.
Yeah, it looks like it, because it dealt
Possibly.
like 3 or 4 damage to him. Hold on.
Genius prevails.
He has a gear form.
He's just all gears.
How do you think you deal with this? Not bouncy balls.
Damn it. Okay. What about?
It's traditionally the weapon
Whoa.
that's the biggest pain in the ass to use.
Well, I don't know.
No, it's not this. No, it's definitely not Brock's.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's the biggest pain in the ass to use.
Yep, that's the
Oh,
one.
you're kidding!
Okay, no, don't use power gate version at this point.
How am I gonna get out of this goddamn? No, I didn't want you, Rush. God damn it, get away, get away, get the hell out of
Just
here.
weapon tank it, like, use everything, screw it. It's going to be quite hard to hit a floating enemy with the thing that only travels on the ground.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
just
you,
trying to find
Matt.
help, you know? You're going to try and hit him like that just to prove a point.
Well, maybe I don't like help. You ever thought about that?
Oh, just... When he does the gear attack thing, right? Oh! What?
What?
Oh, you killed him!
What did I just do? Did I just?
Oh, you blew him up!
Give up,
What's-
Wily.
You turned on power gear and he just flew into you and blew up!
Where's the boss? What happened to the boss? Where's my boss? See, he's a robot.
Spare me.
What? This is it?
Old man. Mercy,
That was the
Mega Man.
entire final boss.
Enough. You
Did
can't
I-
fool me that
did-
easily.
Did you accidentally kill the final boss of Mega Man 11?
But don't act so cocky. I didn't lose to you.
I mean, you did lose to me.
I lost
I
to my
just.
own technology, my double gear. I'm the
Well,
greatest.
you
I'm a
didn't-
genius.
You didn't kind of lose to us, you just kind of killed yourself.
I mean,
you never learn from your mistakes.
he still had at least like 6 or 7 things of health.
Yeah, I'm
didn't
pretty
he?
sure.
Yeah, and Wily always takes
are you
like
doing here?
one
You-
sort of
you
slice of his life
plagiarist.
is at least like twice as much as a regular
your
slice
eyes
of
wide.
like.
No,
life
I
on a
think
boss
it's
fight,
like
isn't
a
it?
normal
Mega
slice for
Man.
most.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Tell me what you see.
But like,
How the hell did it? I mean, was it meant to do that much damage? Was it because for suddenly somehow
see is
like
the instrument
he has
of my
multiple like
downfall.
collision boxes and they all intersected with the
Mega Man
acid
wields
shield?
tremendous power.
I don't know.
Or is it like a,
Wisely.
you know, Final Fantasy
Your
quest thing where it's
brain
possible to kill the
combined.
final boss in
If our
one hit?
ideas, our gears could mesh together,
Phrasing.
Mega Man would be the result. We achieved this together.
So
Okay.
in a way, Mega Man
Albert,
is Wily and
atone
Light's
for your
baby.
crimes.
Aw.
Join me again.
That's adorable.
Silence.
What roll?
My plans have only just begun, you fool.
Unwanted
and I won't
stepchild.
stop
I
until I
guess
see
so,
both
yeah.
of you kneeling before me in utter defeat.
Apart from the one in Marvelous Capcom 2 is awesome.
Hold it, Wily.
Because you can turn into a giant robot.
Oh right.
Remember this, Dr. Wily.
See, that seems like a much more
always
useful
strikes
use
again.
for all.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she do that instead of like, I don't know,
Wily!
standing around buying Mega Man stuff?
I don't know.
My old friend, perhaps our gears will never mesh together.
Phrasing.
Doctor, the fortress is collapsing.
Are we still using present?
Searching all over the place for you.
It's phrasing instead of phrase.
Ah, Otto.
Okay, got a question. How did they get here?
Good, Doc. But if you don't find my
We had to go through the entire fortress, right? And there are spikes everywhere and bottomless pits and all that
Dr.
kind of
Light,
stuff.
follow me.
I mean, considering we killed everything, maybe it was just really easy for them to just follow behind us. Always literally 5 minutes behind.
I mean, maybe.
And now we get a really epic shoot 'em up stage, which is like some sort of bullet. Okay.
Aww.
Was that it?
You got me really excited that it would be like a bullet hell thing. Can you move around?
No.
No, okay.
For a moment, I mean, this is kind of like the ending to Sonic and Knuckles.
Okay, but that was it, right? There's no secret final boss.
Doesn't look like it.
What? This game put us through hell!
Okay, wait a minute. How long did that take us? Okay, right. So just to give you guys some kind of measure, I mean, it took us like an hour and 20 minutes to get through Wily Stage, Wily Fortress 1 alone.
Yeah, hour 40 is how long it took.
An hour, okay.
So, no, sorry, an hour 20, you're
Yeah,
right.
an hour 20. And it took us less than 40 minutes just to get through all that. Wily Stage 2, 3, and 4.
Wow, like... This feels like an anticlimax. I mean, maybe it's because we just ended up doing things in a ridiculously difficult way by accident.
And then decided to cheese the last few stages.
And then
using
just
extra
went-
lives and okay. I mean, if we hadn't used energy tanks and we hadn't had so many extra lives and we didn't have the weapon tanks,
We didn't
would
use
it-
any weapon tanks, though, did
No,
we?
actually, that's true.
So we only
No,
use
we don't
energy
use-
tanks and lives, right? And in fairness, I don't think we use more than like 4 energy tanks either,
Yeah.
which is comparable to what we did in 9.
Wow. Okay. I mean, well,
Okay, game.
I'm gonna be honest. It kind of feels like after Wily Stage 1, there was a brief bit of sort of inspiration where we thought, okay, right, where the developers thought, okay, let's have a giant skull robot chase you.
Yep.
Let's have another giant skull robot chase. Hey, well, guys, what if we had like 1 million giant skull robots chase them?
like
through a
crush
giant.
them,
Yeah,
right?
that was cool. But after, like, beyond that, it honestly felt like all the inspiration had just sort of disappeared after Wily Stage 1.
They kind of just phoned it in, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Wily Stage 3 and 4.
Also, the final boss only had 2 stages.
Yeah.
I could have sworn like a Wily Stage, like
Okay, so-
Wily Machine's got to have at least like 3 or 4.
Mega Man 9, Wily has 3 stages.
Yeah.
He's got the volleyball stage, and then he's got the robot stage afterwards, and he's got
Yeah.
the flying saucer stage, right?
Yeah.
Mega Man 10, he has 2 stages,
Yeah. But then he's got.
but then he's got the super final stage as well, right?
Yeah.
With the weird gravity.
Yeah.
This one just has 2, and you just
Yeah.
kill him.
I mean, I guess you could say that the bit where he where he turns the floor into a conveyor belt could be a stage 2, but I mean, it's not really.
No, I don't want to be negative about this game, right?
Yeah, but it was a bit of a underwhelming ending.
Yeah, exactly.
Having said that, maybe that's just because it pales in comparison to a truly horrific beginning.
Yeah, but it doesn't, right? Wily Stage 1
Yeah, Wily Stage 1
clearly
was tough,
challenged
yeah.
us, right? So it's just very strange to me that you don't have an escalation of difficulty.
Yeah, I was expecting. So obviously in Wily Stage 1, you get all the precision jumping,
Yep.
which kind of is to encourage you to use the speed gear in super slow mo.
Yes.
And you get the chase bits in Wily Stage 2, which encourage you to use both the power gear but also the speed gear, and
Yeah.
if you've got it, the thing which allows you to move at normal speed during speed gear. But Wily Stage 3 and 4, I mean, they were.
It feels like there could have been a Wily Stage 3, right?
Yeah.
And there's a proper Wily Stage 3, and then boss refights, final boss.
Yeah.
And that would have been effective. It just seems like it got cut.
Yeah.
Which is really sad.
I'll be interested to see. I'll be interested to see if we get any kind of DLC for this. Because I mean,
Yeah.
Mega Man 9 got Fake Man. Did
Mega Man 9 got Fake Man and the Proto Man DLC,
Yeah.
and it got the ridiculously difficult mode DLC.
Did Mega Man 10 get anything?
Yeah, so I think it had.
They got Proto Man.
I think it had base DLC actually.
Base?
Yeah.
Oh, right. That might be the only reason I'll ever go back and check that. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Mega Man 11 gets something like that.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, the reviews for the purpose of this LP was to examine what we thought of the game relative to the reviewers of this game now. And the reason that we thought it might be interesting and different is that we had played Mega Man 9 and 10 very, very recently, whereas everybody else hadn't, right?
Yeah.
Now, reviews for Mega Man 11, in my experience, certainly from what I read, were overwhelmingly positive, right? They claimed it was an excellent return to form for Mega Man in general, that it used the widescreen format, it used its art style in an incredibly cool and different way, and they praised the gear system as well as being a unique addition, right? What do you think of that criticism?
I mean, the gear system is unique for Mega Man.
Yes.
The art style, I'd say it's just fairly typical, sort of slightly. He's so angsty.
He is
Blastman's
angsty.
so angsty. Acid Man is kind of a bit angsty.
Oh, and our best man.
It's fabulous.
So fabulous.
Look at him. He's so cool.
He is very cool.
Despite being on fire.
Despite being hot, you know. But yeah.
But I mean, the level design.
So
I'd say that I'd say the level design was better than Mega Man 10.
yes.
I'd say when we died, it was more due to us screwing up and it being genuinely challenging rather than it being just cheap, frustrating
Yeah,
stuff
that's
as in
true.
Mega Man 10. But I don't think it was quite as well. I don't think it was quite as imaginative or at least fresh as Mega Man 9 seems. I say that maybe it's just because we've done all the Mega Man games in, the recent Mega Man games in fairly rapid succession.
I mean, that might be true, right?
I feel like some of the praise for Mega Man 11, I think probably is just because, well, first of all, Mega Man 10 wasn't particularly fantastic, and
Yep.
that was definitely
Mega
highlighted
Man
during
reporting
reviews.
home.
But
But also because it was the first Mega Man game in a long time.
yeah, that's true.
Obviously, a lot of comparisons were made between Mega Man 11 and Sonic Mania, sort of being, return to greatness.
I don't
At the
think
rate
this
we're
is anywhere
going,
near
we
the
should
level of
have
Sonic
all
Mania.
robots back on their feet by dinner
Like,
time.
Sonic Mania is incredible.
Doctor, did you install Mega's double
Hold
gear
on.
system into auto?
Also, actually, only Light
I
has
did.
dinner because he's the only
I'll
human.
remove it
That's
later,
true.
of course.
That's if he
Just
is
as
a
soon as
human.
Auto's done working.
I mean,
So
Mega
this
drinks
is why
energy
you came
tanks.
all the way to the Gear Fortress.
I have a mug that's an
Yes.
energy tank. It's clearly some
We
sort
were
of
able to
beverage.
That's
recover
true.
all their primary
Unless
components,
it's
so they should be just like new.
Oh,
It
very
would be a shame to let their talents go to waste when there's still so much good they can do.
Robots should always work.
Isn't this great?
I've just
Mega?
noticed there's a microwave with a chicken
You bet.
drumstick.
Where?
Auto, you're slowing
Top
down.
right.
Oh, so there is! Amazing!
The pace.
And it's powering the TV somehow.
If I go any faster, you'll be picking up my pieces.
Quickly, use double gear.
Roll doesn't care.
Everybody smiles at Auto being dead.
Thanks, Eddie.
Good job, Eddie. Oh.
Aw. The plug man just being the fuse man, rather. See, he's so generic. I can't even keep mixing him up with other robot masters. He's just the electric one.
Oh.
So-
Okay.
So that was that.
That was Mega Man 11.
Ultimately, there is only so much you can do with a Mega Man game without, changing the formula beyond recognition.
Let's
I
look
mean-
at the extra modes, by the way. Let's see them. Oh, okay, cool.
Time attack. Nah. Whoa. Whoa. Get to the boss. Yeah, using as few jumps as possible.
Few
Interesting.
attacks. Okay. You know what?
No.
No. We're not gonna do this.
No. Life's too short.
There comes a point in your life where challenges like this that I would have relished doing 10 years ago, I just see now and I go, no. It's not going to be worth the time and effort.
And is that because you wouldn't feel any satisfaction at the end? Or is it, and if so, is it because you know that actually, given enough time and patience, you could do all of this if you had the time and patience?
Like, I think at this point in time, yeah, I have beaten sufficiently hard games in my life that I do not need to prove myself by beating another hard game.
No, especially one which ultimately, let's be honest, comes down to pattern memorization.
Yeah,
and muscle
exactly,
memory.
right?
I know you can level that accusation against probably most games nowadays.
Well, you can level that mess. You can level that against platform games in general, right?
Yes.
And a lot of them lean into it. So, for example, Celeste does that a lot. Super Meat Boy, to begin with, years ago,
Really? Yeah.
was all about muscle memory, right? And pattern
Yeah.
memorization. And just getting that absolutely perfect. And there is satisfaction in doing that for some people. There was satisfaction in doing that when I was playing Super Meat Boy, right?
Yeah.
I'm proud that I got the kid in Super Meat Boy because I played that stage 3 hours, right? But I don't need to prove that I can do that anymore, right? It's not... It doesn't fill me with pride that I've beaten something, right, anymore.
No.
Because I can do it. I know I can.
See, I would say that that's a lot of the reason why I'm not playing like a lot of stuff anymore. Like, I gave up on my attempts to play through the Evil Within 2 through to the end again, simply because, well, first of all, because it's so goddamn boring, and also, seriously, it's like, I've probably made this analogy before, it's like, it's about as exciting and thrilling and horrifying as doing your freaking tax returns.
There you go.
But more than that, I know that it's actually a very easy game to beat as long as you just take it very carefully.
Yeah.
And if you try and speed through it, I mean, it is possible, but you've just got to memorize where the enemies are. You've got to use exploits, and ultimately, I know that I could do it, but there's no satisfaction in simply just learning how the game works because the game can never ultimately change.
Right.
Which is why I think I probably have to defer to your love of fighting games, because ultimately, fighting games are the only games, well, fighting and multiplayer, the only games where you can't solve a fighting game.
Yeah, you're
a
right.
well-balanced fighting game you cannot solve, because ultimately you're always going to be up against a human opponent who
Yep.
could just do anything. It could completely break the rules of logic. They could just do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's one of the only things I would, if I was actually any good at fighting games, I'd actually feel pride in.
Well, we've got Smash Ultimate coming up, so we can
Yeah.
definitely play some of that. And it will be a bunch of fun, I imagine.
Only if Travis Touchdown is in DLC. They've already decided the DLC, so...
Who knows? So, long story short, where do you rate this on the scale of 9, 10, and 11?
Easy. 9 is best, 11 is second. Fairly to, respectable second.
Yeah.
Not nipping at its heels, but not straggling behind. And 10 is down in stinky depths.
Why do we think...
Mediocrity.
So, we already know why 10 is terrible, right?
Yeah.
10 is just uninspired 9 with worse bosses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why is 9 better than 11?
The easy answer would be because it has bees.
That's true.
But Mega Man 11 has balls!
I think for 9, and I don't know
That's
why
on my
this
side.
is, I find the weapons more fun to use.
Yeah, the weapons are a lot.
I don't like, and don't get me wrong, the weapons in this are great.
Yeah,
right?
Mega Man 11 has. I mean, the only really forgettable ones I would say are Blast Man's weapon, which is
Yeah.
it's just too finicky to use because most enemies are usually moving too quickly for you to actually really do anything
Yeah.
against it. And you can't really use it against bosses.
And Blockman's weapon is not great in my
No.
opinion.
It could have been fun on a few of the more the outdoor stages, but we didn't.
We didn't really see it, you know?
Yeah. Only Power Drive sucks.
And Pile Driver, Pile Driver seems like a cool speedrunning weapon.
Yes,
right?
only maybe the few occasions when you're trying to get over and get up onto a ledge quickly instead of having to do finicky jumping.
But
Again, too situational.
yeah, so I think for Mega Man 9, the reason I liked it is because I liked all the weapons being used, but I also,
Even Concrete Shell.
it felt like a lot of the time in 9, I could cope with the stages, and they weren't they were more consistent in how difficult they were, I think, over time.
Yes.
You have Torchman stage here, which is just ludicrously difficult, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in 9, Galaxy Man stage is the easiest, for sure, right?
Yeah.
But I can't place a hardest stage in that game, really, because the other ones are quite consistent in terms of how difficult they are. And so I feel you get a more consistent and less frustrating experience with 9. You know what you're getting in coming into every level. And it has some really, like, both games have creative things in their levels, but I like a lot of 9's creative stuff more. I like jumping up on the bubbles in Splash from the Stage.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I actually kind of enjoy the swings now in Dual Message. I know at the time we said we hated it, but I think that's a really cool gimmick to have in the stage as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like 9 has more creative ideas within its level design than 10 necessarily does.
Yeah.
Like 10 has Bounce Man's level as bouncy, right? Which is fine.
What, 11?
Sorry, 11 has Bounce Man stage as bouncy.
Yeah.
And you get to play around with that a bit, and it does form a level theme, but I don't think it's used as creatively as some of the things in 9 are.
Yeah, so some of the things in 11, like Last Man stage being some sort of, weird sort of movie set. That was
great.
That was cool. I like that. And the mini bosses in general, I'd say are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd say they're probably about on par with 9's.
Yep.
But somehow the weapons and the stages didn't quite mesh together. I mean, ultimately, when it comes down to Mega Man, Mega Man is a game where either the stages are fun just to blast through stuff with the Mega Buster,
Yep.
or they are basically a playground for the unique weapons you get from defeating bosses.
Yeah, you're right.
And if it doesn't really win on either of those merits, then it sucks. That's what Mega Man 10 was. At least with the Mega Man 11, personally, I can't going through it with the Mega Buster, because so much of it requires you to. It gets broken up by being forced to use the Power Gear and the Speed Gear in order to really ratchet through stuff. I would say it wins. It doesn't win out on that, but it does win on the weapons being fun to use. But again, like I said, they don't mesh quite as well with the stages 9 did.
I would say two things not in summary, but just two things to add on to that. The first is just a minor gripe. Power Gear shouldn't make you lose charge when you activate it.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest problems that I had with using that power up for the entire game, that you lost charge, right? And it just took this power up from being something that was really cool to use to just being worse than the Speed Gear 90% of the time.
I mean,
right?
I can kind of see why they did it, because all you'd have is just people would charge up, hit Power Gear,
fire,
and
we
then
do
come out of
that
Power
with
Gear.
the boss weapons anyway,
Well,
right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, right.
Like,
On the other hand, you do use ammo, so there's a limit to how much you can do.
and
that.
the second thing is, and I think this is actually one of the major reasons 9 comes above this, which is ultimately the end of this game is disappointing.
Yeah.
Relative to the rest of it. Genuinely disappointing, I think, relative to what came before it. If the game had been more consistent at the end, I think I would view it as being up there with 9 and 2.
Yeah, I feel like we could have easily done with another few stages.
Yeah.
2 or 3. I mean, they could have even pulled Mega Man 4's, thing of having another fortress.
Yeah.
And I would have been a bit irritated, but actually I think it would have been more satisfying.
I think so.
They could have had definitely had more stages forcing you to use the
Gears,
power,
the weapons,
power and speed
everything,
gear.
right?
Yeah.
Everything. So, to that extent,
I mean, I had fun.
like, the entire point is we want more of this game.
Yeah.
We clearly had fun with it. It's just that because you did not provide that to us,
Yeah.
ultimately we think that it ends up being worse than...
It feels like it's about 70% of the way there.
Yeah.
But it's
Not
just
quite.
Just not done.
And I think that's it. That's our conclusion about Mega Man 11.
That's all she wrote.
We ultimately think that it's a little bit worse than what critics thought. And maybe that's our experience showing through. Maybe that is our love of Mega Man being a thing.
I love Mega Man, but also ultimately, I feel probably anyone would feel the same way if they had played lots of Mega Man games. If you play enough of the same kinds of games in relatively quick succession, and over the course of a year, is now starting to feel like a relatively quick succession. I'd say you probably start to notice the similarities and how much stuff gets reused. I mean, ultimately, there's only so much you can do with the level design. I mean, I bet you know, there are some parts of old Mega Man games which were lifted wholesale from previous games.
Yep.
It's like I'm pretty sure there's parts of Mega Man 9 where like the rooms are exact copies, you know, or maybe homages to rooms in, you know, the early ones.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense because it was, you know, something meant to be a tribute. But I mean, they probably did, I'm imagining they probably did that from, you know, 2 to 6.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe it is our familiarity that caused us to be less enthusiastic than other people were. Maybe, but ultimately, this is a good game. I would recommend it to anybody. Actually, anybody. If you've played the series a bunch, if you haven't, I still think it's probably worth your time. It's worth having a look at.
If it comes up on deal, guys, yeah, give it a whirl.
If it comes up on deal, definitely get it. If you're a fan of the series, you probably already have it. So there you go. That is the end of Mega Man 11, but we have more coming up.
But wait, there's more.
There is more. So, T and I have been considering what our next LP should be. And we are, as we like to do a lot of the time, going to leave it up to a vote. So previously, you guys got the vote between Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid. And now we're going to offer a choice of 3 games.
Oh.
So the first game on our list is Chrono Trigger Randomizer. Chrono Trigger obviously is an incredibly famous Super Nintendo RPG.
I mean, who hasn't Let's Played it by now?
And it has been done to death. Everybody has LP'd this game. And so the unique spin that we thought we would bring is applying the modification Chrono Trigger Randomizer to it. This randomizes not your party, but the abilities that they get, the strength of those abilities, enemy resistances, all that kind of stuff.
Does it change the actual enemies?
The enemies are still the same.
Okay, right, so we're not going to wander into Guardia Forest and suddenly encounter, like, you know,
I know.
friggin' aliens off the Black Omen.
No, we're not.
Oh,
Enemies are still the same, but they could be much more powerful, much less powerful.
so the final boss won't be Gato.
No, the final boss won't be Gato.
Oh,
We can't beat him up for silver points. In any case, that is the first thing that we were considering doing. The second thing
sounds boring.
that we're considering doing is a Sonic Generations LP. So, T, how much Sonic Generations have you ever played, or modern Sonic in general?
I think between me buying Sonic Generations, getting very excited to play it, and then crashing after about 2 minutes because my antiquated laptop couldn't handle Green Hill Zone. Yeah, I'm pretty pants when it comes to buying computers. I mean, computers are just expensive boxes of stuff. I mean, it's like, you know, for like Age of Empires and games like that, right? You know, I mean, between that and playing Sonic Mania, which was excellent, nothing.
So there we go. The LP would be one where Yorkshire T here plays through Sonic Generations blind and I act as his guide. And one of the hooks that we're going to have is that after T completes a modern level, we'll play a recording of me doing the same modern level as quickly as I physically can.
Yeah, so you have, you know, recording of, you know, me playing the game like a terrible person.
Like a normal person. And then
normal
me
person.
playing it like the crazy person that speedruns that game for fun.
Okay.
I don't really speedrun it because I don't do any of the glitches. I just do going as fast as I can within
Well,
the
no, you're
bounds of the
speedrunning,
game.
you're just not, TASing it.
I'm not doing any of the weird stuff that you can do in Sonic Generations, but that is an idea that we have.
I'd like to hear about the weird stuff, though.
and you can
That sounded wrong.
and you can have that comparison if you want. So the second option is Sonic Generations. The final option, and Tia, I've already told Tia about this. He's quite excited. Is XCOM.
The original.
The original XCOM. So XCOM is, for those who don't know, a tactical RPG game with permadeath for your soldiers. And, you know, all kinds of statistics, all that kind of stuff. I have very little idea of the nitty-gritty of XCOM beyond that, and I don't know anything of the plot. T, have you ever played XCOM?
It's basically just like aliens.
I think so, I don't really know.
Pretty much aliens come to Earth, you have to get out there and get into your tactical squad and kill aliens.
Oh. So, what we were considering is that...
It's like Fire Emblem meets the X-Files. I've once heard somebody describe it.
Exactly. So, T, how much Fire Emblem have you played?
I played maybe up to chapter 5 of the Sacred Stones and then got bored.
Okay. Whereas I have played a lot of Fire Emblem.
You can really see there's a real gap in taste here.
A ridiculous amount of Fire Emblem. So, we thought a good hook for the LP would be that T is relatively unfamiliar with tactical RPG games, whereas I am very, very familiar with them. But we are both coming into the same game, which is widely praised as being one of the best ever, completely blind. And as an added gimmick, I am told in XCOM, you can make your own soldiers.
This is the best bit.
So we are going to ask the Goon community, and the people in the comments, in the YouTube comments, and the people at BTW, to make characters for us. We will put them in the pool, and we will get your army men and women killed.
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely end up killing them. Probably at least 2 episodes.
And so that is the final choice. So the final choice will be the original
What
XCOM.
happens if we get everybody killed?
I don't know. I don't know what happens in this game.
We retire from professional YouTubing.
So there are your 3 choices. Chrono Trigger Randomizer, Sonic Generations, or XCOM. And with that, we are done. We will be back, I believe, on the 10th of January. We're going to go on hiatus for all of December.
Oh.
And so with that, thank you very much for watching the LP. Thank you very much for following through with our rants and all that kind of stuff and watching us die to Torchman and Wily Stage 1 a billion times. Thank you very much for putting up with all of that. And we'll be delighted to see you on January 9th with our next amazing Let's Play.